It's likely if you spent any time online yesterday, you were either privy to or saw a conversation about Kathy Griffin, who is a comedian, and posted this image of herself with a fake severed head of the President of the United States. And there was a lot of conversation about it, and most of the conversation was around it being pretty tasteless, which it was. And even people who have pretty negative opinions about the president and his presidency were quick to say, this is a step too far. This is like, you've kind of crossed the line here. Well, in the noise, about this conversation, about the post in that conversation, one of the things that got lost and had pointed out to me was that Kathy Griffin actually posted an apology at some point during the day. Now, there are these two truths that come up in me, and things that I know and I keep coming back to, because I've certainly put work in the world and then wanted to go get it back because I didn't like what it was doing. One is that apologies never travel as far or as fast or as smoothly as the wrongs that they are intended to chase down. And I can let that be a matter of fear, that if I get something wrong or if I cross a line, that I'm not gonna be able to go get it back, and so it makes me hesitant and nervous about my work. Or I can let that make me a wiser person and a wiser artist. I can think more comprehensively about my work, and in this way specifically, and here's the second truth, I can consider the fact that what other people think about what I make actually does matter. I don't know where the idea comes from that, like, hey, it's just sort of this big-chested macho artist thing. It doesn't matter what other people think. No, it really does, actually. This is my neighborhood. This is the world in which I live. These people, these are the people I live my life with. This, some of the folks, and I know the folks in these houses. And the way I live my life in this neighborhood, well, it impacts my neighbors. It changes the way they live. The way they live impacts the way I live. And it's only human, it's only right that I consider my neighbors as I live the way I live, as I make the decisions I'm going to make as a neighbor, as a person. Well, I would suggest that as like in making work in the world as an artist, as in whatever I'm making, considering the people around me doesn't cheapen my art. It just makes me a wiser, more loving maker and creator. I want to think about the folks who are going to be taking in and consuming what I'm creating. It's part of how I love them is by making work that benefits them. So what I make, what other people think about it actually does, in fact, matter.